All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone. The fourth week of social media success. So happy that you're able to join us. Go ahead and throw it in the chat where you're joining us from. Don't be shy. Who's going to be the first one? Oh, we got a quiet crowd tonight, gang.
Mhm.
Statesville. All right, there we go, Alex.
There we go. Long Island, New York. We got Singapore. JoJo in the house.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Vegas, Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
Australia always shows up.
They
I
do.
love Australia. I got to
Always
go out there
representing.
and do some. I got to do some. I got to go out there and see the team out there.
Yes. Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Iowa, the mid, yeah, here we go, the Mid East.
There we
Lots of
go.
Cliff.
We got Carmen out there. We got Cliff, our panelist last week, now turns participant. Love you, Cliff.
Great
You know,
job last week, Cliff.
yeah, great. I mean, everybody was great last week. I mean, that was such a fun, training last week, that we got to do with, four amazing superstars. And then tonight is going to be another great night, with three superstars from our social media team.
That's right. That's right. Hello, Cindy from Florida, San Jose, California. All right, we'll get so 30 more seconds. We'll let everyone kind of load in, and then we'll get started. We got a power-packed evening tonight. Looking forward to this. In some ways, it's bittersweet, Steve, right? It's our final week in the series, but we'll probably be doing some more of these, right?
We will be. I mean, we'll do them every month, just to do it up, just because, but I mean, I'm with you. I mean, this has been so much fun to do on every Monday, being a part of the community. When we talk about social media, this is social media, the community aspect, the building the relationships, the knowledge, the teaching. That's why we do this, Jason. It's more than us. It's bigger than any one of us, and this community is just so amazing, to be a part of, to work for and to serve every single day.
That's right. That's right. You got it. So let's go ahead and kick us off. I do want to remind everyone that we do have translation available this evening. So if you're looking for Mandarin, you can go into the interpretation, which is the globe icon in your Zoom toolbar. Click on that, and you can join us in the Mandarin channel. The five of us will be speaking in English. I still got to brush up on my Mandarin. But other than that, you will have access to this. And of course, these are all recorded and replays are available. We've got it in the Learning Center as well as our YouTube channel. But I'm really excited. We've got so many great things, great foundation built on these last 3 weeks so far, and we've gotten rave reviews. But what better way to close out the social media success series than to bring on our own corporate social media advisors that work for the company. Tonight, you're going to hear from Callie Watts, the strategic force behind shop.com, Isotonics, MA Healthy Living, social media accounts, skillfully manages all these platforms. I don't know how she does it, but we're going to get some tips from her. Every post, every tweet, all these updates. Really understands digital marketing and our brands. You've seen her. I'm sure that you've seen a lot of her content that she's produced. We've actually made some of it available in your UnFranchise marketing app as well. Followed by Sarah Blaine, a creative genius. You've seen Sarah, incredible graphics and videos. On TikTok, you might have seen some of her hands, and you might have seen some of her cute videos that she's done. Incredible video content. Sarah, we love what you've been doing. Really transforming everything to a visual masterpiece, engaging audiences, really getting all those likes and comments and reshares, which is what we're really looking for in terms of engagement, and really staying ahead, keeping a pulse on all things social media. We love seeing you on Insta as well as TikTok. And then we're going to rally, and bringing us home is going to be Alex Torres, our corporate social media manager, really the mastermind behind the social media presence that we've got. He kind of works behind the scenes, but if you've been at some of our major events, he's not really behind the scenes, kind of blends in with the crowd, but he's the one running around, taking great shots, great photos, doing some interviews, and then splicing it all together and making sure things get loaded. You will see him darting through the crowd occasionally because he's got to get the right shot at the right time. But just incredible, incredible team. And of course, led by none other than our COO, president of shop.com. He is really the mastermind behind all of it. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Steve Ashley.
Well, Jason, first of all, I get to work with this great team every single day. I'm still waiting for Callie and Sarah to put on a retainer. They are hand, all their manicures and pedicures that they have to do, for that. Here's the thing about it. Tonight you're going to see a little bit of a different side of me. I'm going to let my team bring the energy tonight. Tonight, I'm going to give you my heart. 27 years ago, this device changed the world. When Steve Jobs introduced it, most people thought it was just an expensive phone. But little did we all know that he created a connector to people, to relationships, created wealth for many, made a lot of things that we do and saved a lot of things that we did, whether it was no longer needing a camera because we had it on our phone. We no longer needed sometimes computers because we could do everything through an app or through a mobile web. And it's arguable to say that social media wouldn't be as successful as it is today if it wasn't for the ease of pulling it up on your phone and being able to just connect with people and build relationships. Now social media has become that. Social media has become the connector, to people, to relationships. It's how we create content. It's how we formulate new relationships. It's how, many influencers create their wealth. And it brings me to a story of a person who at the time was just a nobody. His name on Reddit was Roaring Kitty. And 3 years ago, I should say, Roaring Kitty would just get behind a camera and would just share his own thoughts about the stock market. And every single day he did it, every Monday through Friday, I should say, he gave his opinion, gave his thoughts. Not many people watched. But there was one day that people started noticing him. And he came up with some ideologies on the stock market to be able for that the everyday person could win if they rallied around a community and they had a purpose and a movement. That 3 years ago, Roaring Kitty just changed and created a revolution by the backing of creating simple plans to run up both GameStop and other stocks. And he wanted to do so because other people were betting that the company was going to fail, where he wanted the company to succeed. And through consistency in his posting, through authenticity of the person he was, and because he believed in what he was doing, he got people to rally behind this cause. And what happened was that he basically saved many companies that were falling under Wall Street's, claws. I bring it up today because it's been 3 years since Roaring Kitty has posted. Today, he posted a simple meme. That meme was just a person sitting in their chair and then a person going forward. To his followers, to the people that followed him on social media, that meant the revolution was back on. And they saw GameStop and AMC go up 100% in stock market. Now, I don't know. I'm not telling you to go buy GameStop or AMC, because there was nothing that was done today that changed any of their valuations or perspectives. All it did was simply a man posted a meme, and all of a sudden created a revolution. And with that, he became somebody when he started out social media as a nobody, or just someone to himself. All he did again was create content with a purpose. Everything he did was built around passion. He knew that there was going to be times to where no one would watch him and he'd be talking to himself. And that's what it was about. It was okay for him because he loved what he was doing. You see, the great thing about doing something that you love is that in the good times, they're great. And when they're challenging, sometimes you overcome it because you remember the reason why you're doing such. And I say this because each and every one of you, Carmen, Dawn, Floor, so many of you have the capability of being a director, of changing people's lives, of creating a wellness revolution by just simply getting behind the camera, creating your own original content, sharing why you love what you do, sharing why you became an unfranchised owner. And all of a sudden, what looks like someone who is just talking to themselves is now talking to their own mini revolution, which is helping them create their own business, which is helping many create their own business. Because the great thing about this business is that you cannot be successful without leading other people to success. This is not a dog eat dog world in this company. This company is about helping each other create the success that they want so that you can reach the success you want. And it all starts with you, the person. And today we're going to give you tips on how you can create that great content on social media so that you can become that somebody that I know each and every one of you can believe. So to lead us off tonight is the face behind shop.com. The person who, when I brought her on, we had some successes when it came to videos and to reels, but she came on board and it just became thousands and thousands and thousands of people that we were reaching. And her passion for it goes well beyond just what she produces on a day-to-day. She is a student of social media. When she leaves the office, she's an influencer herself, on her social media page. And here she's going to be back with us again, talking to you about how to create content that sells. So please welcome Callie to the stage.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Steve. And man, I'm going to talk a little bit about it in here about where I started, but truthfully, I am so grateful to be here with Shop and Market America and to have so many people believe in me and just take what I love, and that is creating content in social media, and to let me run with it and show what I can do. And kind of like Steve had mentioned, it's constantly changing and I feel like I have to constantly keep up. But that is the exciting thing about social media, is there's always something to learn. Whether you start today, tomorrow, it does not matter, because you can learn so much because there's so many opportunities out there and it is so easy. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm super excited to share with you guys today because there has recently been some algorithm changes. If you aren't familiar, I think we all know at this point, the algorithm is constantly changing. And for a really long time, it was really pushing content creators and big companies that already had millions of followers, right? Well, a lot of people brought those concerns actually up to Meta and to TikTok, and they were like, hey, like, we have small creators that are creating content and we want to be seen and we want to get that reach. And so recently they have changed it so that they are able to push more original content for creators that are really trying to grow. So now is literally the best time to get out there and get on social media, because you are going to see growth by being consistent, by simply putting yourself out there and just going for it. And I have some great examples on here because I have seen so many amazing UFOs really step it up lately. Don's on here tonight, and I am super excited. He's been killing it on Facebook. We've been chatting a little bit at leadership school and kind of back and forth on social media, and I am super proud of him for putting himself out there and simply being consistent and just taking that leap. So way to go, Don. I'm super proud of you. And I want to see more of you guys doing this. And I know social media can sometimes seem super uncomfortable and probably a little nerve-wracking, right? Like, I think a lot of us don't want to be on camera. And honestly, I was there too. Like, when I first started filming content for Shop, I didn't want to show my face. I was like, okay, I look crazy. I don't want to be on camera. We're just going to do hand content. And if you scroll all the way back, you'll see it's literally just my hands. But the moment that I started putting my face on the camera, that is when our content really started taking off, because I was showing my personality, I was showing my passion for the products, and I was showing people that, hey, it is a real person behind the screen. And so what I tell everybody is you guys have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And as hard as that is to say, and I know it's so hard to take that first step, if you take that step out of your comfort zone, that is when learning and growth really starts to begin. Because when we're constantly in our comfort zone, we are just continuously doing the same thing over and over again, and there will be no change and no growth. So if you guys get anything away from today, is to just simply take that leap, take that step out of that comfort zone. That way you guys can go ahead and start getting on social media. And again, I tell everybody this, it's not going to be perfect the first time that you film something. And the great thing about social media is you get the chance to refilm, you get the chance to edit. So there are so many opportunities to simply get over it. And honestly, too, I was just talking to Steve and Jason about this before this chat. I was like, I feel like we're the hardest on ourselves, and we see things that I'm telling you, nobody else is even noticing. So stop worrying about it, step out of the comfort zone, get on the camera, and start making content. That is all I'm going to say on that. Okay, now let's get into more of the fun stuff. And Steve and Jason told me I had 10 minutes, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, because I could literally talk about content for hours because I love it. I eat, breathe, sleep content. It's my life. So I want to talk a little bit about one of the most important things that you can do for your content, other than simply just being on camera. And that is really considering kind of what Jason said earlier, and Steve, having a purpose to your content. So when you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, what kind of content are you consuming and why? Is it because it's an influencer that you're following them? Is it because it's funny? Maybe it's entertaining. I mean, I think we've all been there. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning and you're still scrolling on TikTok. Yeah, we've all been there. So just think about that. When you're watching something, everything that somebody is creating, it has a purpose. And I would really recommend everybody screenshotting this, because again, these are just some really good content types that I always tell people. So when you're making content, you have to always ask that question: what am I giving consumers when they're watching this? And we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. So kind of in here, what I want to touch base with, and I put some examples up here of some amazing UFOs that are just doing a really good job. And I'll kind of touch base on what I was mentioning earlier. So when they are creating content, like example, we've got Dominique over here. She is so amazing about putting herself on the screen. She is very real. She's authentic. She shares her life, and she is becoming very entertaining as well as very educational. So all the content that she's making is giving her users and followers education and entertainment. So when you make content, again, you've got to think about that. Okay, when I'm making a video, am I making a video to be entertaining? Am I making it to be informative? What is the purpose and why? Because at the end of the day, if you're creating content just to create content, nobody's going to watch it. Unfortunately, that is just the way social media is now. You have 3 seconds to catch people's attention or to give them something, and they're not going to waste their time unless you are giving them something in return. And I tell people this all the time. I know it's very hard, of course, to get on camera, but it's also sometimes hard to just be yourself and be very comfortable with letting your personality show. But that is truly what people want. And there are so many ways you can do that. I see Kevin all the time. He is obsessed with this protein. Me too, but he does such a good job at this. He does so many product reviews, and I love that he brings in his customers for these product reviews. So that is also just a great idea. Do some reviews, bring in friends, bring in whoever to talk about the product. You can even just simply talk in front of the camera about why you love a product. Maybe showing a morning routine. Maybe it's a nighttime routine. I mean, when I film content all the time, it is so easy for me to film content for shop because I already use so many products that while I'm getting ready for bed, just film a little quick video. Maybe it's in the morning, whatever. So just little things like that. And it doesn't have to have so much thought, and you don't have to put so much time and effort into it all the time. You can definitely do trends and do some fun things and come up with some creative ideas, but you don't have to constantly feel like you have to put in a ton of effort. Because again, really, people nowadays just want that stuff that's very organic, that's real, just be yourself. So there's a lot of really great options out there that you can do for videos and concept ideas. So now I want to talk a little bit about filming. So it's kind of hard to do this while on Zoom, but I wanted to give you guys some of my tips for filming and why it's so important. And these are like my big pet peeves. So if I ever see anybody filming with their front camera, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell you, you better turn the camera around. As hard as it is, I know we all want to see ourselves while we're filming, but the truth is when you are filming with your front camera, the quality is never going to be as good. So always make sure that you are filming with your back camera. Make sure the lighting is good because you don't want to look orange. You don't want to look like you have a shadow across your forehead. So it's just simple things like that. And I always tell people too is to have a tripod. And if you don't have a tripod, set your camera or your phone up on something. I do it all the time in the gym. I will set it up on the most random things, but you know what? It works because the camera is not shaking. The camera is still and focused, and it just makes your videos turn out so much better. And another tip that I actually recently learned about, I would say a couple months ago, which I don't think a lot of people really think about this, but in the iPhone, you actually have an option to put your phone in HD 60, and that will make sure that you are filming in the highest definition. So go ahead in your camera settings, you'll open up and you'll see it right in the right-hand corner. It might be 4K, it might be 40. You just literally click on it until it's in HD 60. That way, again, it's less editing you have to do, and it'll just make you look more like a professional. And I always too, I'm a stickler for this, and you can ask Sarah and Alex, keep things short. Long content is good sometimes, but again, a lot of times our content nowadays that people enjoy to consume is just very short and simple. So keep captions short. You don't have to go into too much detail. If you want to go into a lot of detail, split it up into a couple reels. Use that as an option to make multiple videos. And two, always smile and look at the camera. I see so many people that are filming and, when you're right in front of the camera, it might be a little awkward. I get it. I've been there, but smile because again, people that are watching you want to see you happy. They want to see you. So don't be afraid to look in the camera and smile. And then the last biggest tip I have for filming is to simply use call to actions and hooks. And really what that is again, like I had mentioned earlier, when people are consuming content, you have about 3 seconds to catch somebody's attention before they scroll on. So maybe that's, why I love this product. There's so many call to actions that you can literally use ChatGPT, Google them, catch some attentions, be very creative with it. That way, again, you're catching their attention, you're keeping them there. And then lastly, adding call to actions. And that is really just saying, hey, click my link in the bio, shop now. Just short little things like that. And always switch up. You don't have to always keep the same call to actions or hooks because again, we want to change things up. We want to make things a little bit different. That way it's not all being the same. So again, screenshot this if you haven't. These are some really great tips and things that can just really elevate your filming. They're super easy. You don't need a good camera. You can literally do everything from your phone nowadays, which is absolutely one of the best things that has ever happened to us is just getting a good camera on the phone. And I am crazy, but I have 2 phones, and I have the brand new iPhone and I have the iPhone 11. And I'm telling you right now, the iPhone 11 has a really good camera too. and I can't tell the difference. So you don't feel like you have to have the latest upgrade. You can still do things from your phone and still have it as really good quality. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I started I guess it's almost been 2 years, which is crazy to me. But this is the first video that I had ever created for Shop. And when I look at that, I want to cringe because it is nowhere near what I can do now. And this, again, this comes to show you that we all have to start somewhere. And if you don't practice, you are never going to get better and you are never going to learn. And the funny thing too with this is there were so many things that I did that I kind of was like, okay, I don't know if I should do this. And looking back on it, I'm like, wow, I did a good job at that point, right? And you can kind of see it only got 94 likes. And this is what I can do now. And it got much higher reach. So again, don't be afraid to simply start because again, you are going to continuously get better and continuously learn as you make content, and nobody's judging you. Honestly, I don't think anybody ever said anything to me about the first video. They thought it was amazing, especially when I first posted it. And I mean, look at where I am now and just being able to be so creative and have all these fun concepts and ideas. So again, don't be afraid, get out there, simply start now. That's all you have to do. So kind of finishing on that, I want to give everybody a challenge. I am sure you guys, if you are not following us on social media, I'm going to come get you. So make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and X. We currently have a giveaway that's going on. We're going to be posting it again tomorrow, so stay tuned. But you could win up to $1,000, or I guess it is $1,000 shop gift card if you post a video or a selfie with the 300-gram Core 3 Health and just tag Size Up Your Wellness. So I want to challenge everybody this week to simply start by filming one video. Okay, I'm a video person. I know Sarah's gonna talk about the pictures, which you can do a selfie for this as well, but I want to see some videos of people using Core 3 Health, of sharing why you like it, maybe do a review, get creative. Start this week to get one reel out. That way you enter that contest, you might win. You can thank me later. And you can start getting out of that comfort zone. That way you guys can go ahead and start posting at least one video a week starting this week, okay? So again, don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and just simply start, because that is the best thing that you can do for yourself, is to just be uncomfortable and be ready to learn and just put yourself out there. So thank you guys so much. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass this back off to you, Steve or Jason.
So, one thing that was just brought up, Callie, was
Yeah.
is that does it matter what platform that they do this on?
So we do recommend Instagram is going to be the best one to enter. You are more than welcome to go ahead and share it to Facebook. And two, with that, I always tell people, if you are going to make a video for one platform, you might as well post it on all of them. Because again, if you're spending the time to film on one thing, go ahead and just get it up on Facebook and TikTok. But we will, for the contest, be specifically looking for Instagram. It's just the easiest way to track reels. So just remember, enter it and go ahead and add that hashtag. That way it'll go ahead and automatically pull into all the hashtags so we can see them.
Sounds good. Well, two things I just want to reiterate, Callie, on what you said. You talked about the hook and needing a hook.
Yes.
There's a big saying that always goes, if there's no hook, they don't look.
Nope.
And
Amen.
so it's one of those things to where you have to make that hook so appealing that they're going to want to get more information, that they're going to want to ask you more about it, that they're going to want to like it, they're going to want to comment, etc. And so hooks are so critical, but they're not salesy.
No.
Hooks are not salesy. Hooks are things that are going to genuinely bring in attention and then have someone want to create a new action from that. The other
Yeah.
thing is, and Callie, this I haven't figured out yet. So you said I can't go forward, I have to go backwards. Like, how do
Yes.
I look at myself? If I can't forward face this.
So I have gotten it all down to a T. I have a big mirror. Okay. So as crazy as this sounds, you can either have somebody help you and set it up. That way you can kind of make sure you are in the angle. Sometimes if you're alone, you just have to refilm a couple times, but it'll be so worth it. But seriously, get a mirror. You can get like a cheap $8 mirror from Walmart, set it right behind. That way you can actually see the camera. But I'm telling you, I know it sounds so weird and it is kind of annoying sometimes trying to put yourself and get in the frame, but it's a game changer. You will see the quality change, and for whatever reason, that quality change seriously helps the Instagram algorithm. So turn your camera.
Sounds good. Well, I know that we have a bunch of people from New Hampshire, Massachusetts area, and all of that. I just saw the Celtics won, so let's go
Uh-oh.
Celtics on that and all of that. Got to give the Celtics some love. My boy Jason Tatum some love from Duke and all that. So now the next person I want to bring in has been a welcome addition to the team. She came to us. She had her own business. Her business actually was featured on Shark Tank. When she, back in the day, and so she's used to being in front of a camera. And and immediately when she came in, her and Callie, really have connected, like they were best friends. And the content has really intertwined with one another and has really brought in, some even better content, especially for the health and nutrition products, as well as some of the different things that Sarah's been doing. So Sarah, why don't you tell us about a little bit about what you do and how they can create great content just like you?
Thanks, Steve, for the great intro. First of all, so many names from Florida. I'm from Tampa, so to all of my Florida people out there, throw it in the chat. Hi. So one quick thing that Callie said, I had to follow up on it because I just realized this and I was really excited about it. Yes, she's 100% right about the filming, but what you can also do is if you share screen it to your laptop and turn your laptop, you can watch yourself on your laptop. So what I do is I share screen to my laptop, have my laptop here, my phone here. So my phone is filming, but I'm watching myself from my laptop. That's also a very easy way to do it. But for a long time, the mirror thing also works. That's a little bit more complicated, but it's also an option. I do want to follow up also what Kelly said. Be authentic, be yourself, and do not be scared to just film. So I do also coaching for filming, and I did a reel the other day, and it was literally because all the people were like, I don't know it's a film. So I sat in my kitchen and I ate a bag of Doritos and I filmed it. And that was it. And then I wrote at the end, you just watched me eat a bag of Doritos and you don't know it's a film. That's the point. You can film anything. People are watching. Now it was 20 seconds. I didn't eat the whole bag of Doritos, but it was the whole point of don't be scared to just do something and put it out there. Callie, you're amazing. Great job. I love working with this team. So what I'm going to go over, let me get my screen up, is more about, can you guys see that? Are we good? Okay. More about how to do just regular post, carousels, things like that. Not one does better than the other. So really what IG and everything is pushing now, yes, they're pushing videos, but they're saying do more. They're saying post, do post. They're saying post carousels. A lot of you probably got in the last week the bonus offers again. And the bonus offers are for post and carousels directly. So they are pushing it more. So get into it more. I just want to go over a few quick topics. Canva, ChatGPT, scheduling, and apps. Who uses Canva in here? I hope it's everybody. So just so you guys know, I do have a background. I went to school for graphic design, for Illustrator, Photoshop, all of it. You guys, I use Canva. It's sad. All those years of schooling, I have now learned everything I know off YouTube. It's true. So that's the first thing. Canva is, if you're not using it yet, get on it. Its user-friendly interface is incredible. There is so many different templates you guys can use for this. All you have to do is literally plug and play. Throw your pictures in, plug it in, have your own branding on there. And if you don't know how to do some of these things, YouTube it. It's going to show you everything exactly how to do it. And YouTube is your friend with this. The wide range of templates. The other thing that I love about this, I think would be great for you guys, is the collab feature. So when you're working with a team, there's things that you can share with the other people on your team. So say you have 10 people on your team, not all of you guys need to be creating. You guys can share this content back and forth. And what you can do is make it your own. So say I'm going to share it with Callie, but Callie's branding is purples and reds, where mine's blue and grays. She's just going to just take it, copy it, and change the colors to hers. So she's not copying it directly. She's making it her own, but she's using the content that I have. So if you guys work together like that as a team, it's going to make your life so much easier. So that's really what I'm going to try to show you guys in the next 5 minutes is how to make your life easier. Next thing, ChatGPT. I hope you guys are using ChatGPT. I know there's still a slight stigma on it. You guys, I use it again for everything from the easiest things of how to figure out what I want to post. I will even throw in, let's say Core 3 Health. I'll throw in the caption of Core 3 Health and say, give me 5 questions and answers from this caption or from this description. I'm sorry. And it'll say, Core 3 Health is best for this. Here's the answer. And then I'll make a post out of it. So things like that, take the description off the website so it's exactly what it should be, throw it into ChatGPT and get the content from there. Time and cost efficiency. ChatGPT is free. That's the best part of it. So even captions, I'm not going to lie, I'm not the best writer. That's not my skill, but I will take that description again. I will throw it into ChatGPT and I will say, can you please write this in this kind of form for these type of people in 3 sentences or less? Done. And then let me stop for a second. Never straight take it from ChatGPT, then put your own twist on it. So if it says, Core 3 is great for this, be like, I love Core 3 because it does this for me. So give it a little bit twist, change it up. Okay, the next thing, scheduling. So a lot of my clients, they always say, I don't post enough because I don't have the time. No, we're done with saying we don't have the time. This is what you need to do. You need to make all of your content, including your reels, in 2 days. I do 1 day for the month of all my reels. And then I do my 2nd day of all my posts. My reel day, you guys, I switch outfits 5, 6, 7 times in that day. So it looks like it's in different days. So I will have all my wardrobes out. I will have all of my reels saved of what I want to do. And I will film them all in 1 day, have them all saved, ready to go. Same with my posts. I will get all of my content. I know what I'm posting on Mondays. I'm going to do a trending video. I know what I'm posting on Tuesdays, something funny. Wednesday, something personal. Every single day, I know what I'm posting. I put it all together. And then to make it even better, I schedule it. I put it into Later. You can schedule it through Instagram. Later's $40 a month, you guys. That's it. And it's worth the investment and it's a tax write-off. So let's just take it as that. You can schedule through so many different platforms. There's more expensive ones like Sprout, Hootsuite. I use Later specifically. But schedule it for the month and be done. The best thing about this too is if you schedule ahead of time, when things do come up, you're already done with your month content. You can add in all the extra fun stuff. So when you see a trending reel and you're like, oh man, I don't have time. Well, you do because you already have everything else done. So get on it and do it. It's not a big deal now. So things like that, definitely schedule. Another thing about content. Yes, they're buying because the products are great, but they're buying because of you. They're not buying because of the products. They're buying from you because of you. So if you're just out there pushing products, they're not going to buy it. If you're out there telling who you are, your story, why they should buy from you kind of thing, you need to be their best friend. Then they're going to buy from you. So, there's other different companies that are out there that I buy from. I buy from them because I like the person, not because of the product. Now I fall in love with the products, but it didn't start like that. I bought them to support that person. So definitely do not just be content heavy. And that's why I have in here personal days. And I don't care if that's you're taking your kids to school and you're singing Madonna and it's funny, make a post about it, film it, put it up, sing with your kids, show them that you're a real person and post about it. We do this a lot. If you follow me, you're going to see our car singing things. It's great. Don't judge on it. Okay, apps. I put this together. Screenshot it, please, if you would like. Photos. These are different things. If you're not a photographer, it's okay. You can take these different apps now. Most of them, again, are free. And you can actually take the photo. What I do is I have a lot of the products, obviously, but there's some I don't have. So let's say that there was something the other day, I think it was the OPC3, I ran out. So I went to the site, I literally just cut it out and I put it in one of these apps and it gave me a beautiful picture at the end. I didn't take the photo. I just Photoshopped it in without even using Photoshop. Videos. If you guys do not know CapCut, it's time to learn. YouTube it again. Take time, take a Saturday, take 2 hours, lock yourself in your car, in your office. I don't care. Take time and learn CapCut. It is so easy to use. I can't even tell you. I use it for a lot of our social stuff. It's great. TikTok, put that in TikTok. If you do it in TikTok, though, this is important. You're going to want to download TalkSave. What TalkSave is, because you do not want to put a TikTok video on Instagram having the TikTok logo. They don't like that. So what you're going to do is have TalkSave, T-O-K, save. And I think it's, I'll have to look at it. I think it's TalkSave. Callie, if you know, put it in there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to literally copy the link. They're going to download the video without that watermark. You're going to take it and put it onto Instagram. You're going to take it, put it onto Facebook. You're going to take it, put it onto TikTok or YouTube and even Twitter. Put it everywhere. You can use that video. Just make sure you get that watermark off. Back to captions, my favorite thing. No, guys, I hate it. I literally hate it. I try to get Alex to write mine because he's much better at it. ChatGPT is your friend. Captionista is your friend. I actually use Caption Plus. I love it. It actually, for me, I feel like it sounds a little bit more authentic and not so ChatGPT. So if you're not good at changing words, try different ones, but definitely you guys try them. If you don't like one, go to the next. Let's see. Okay, I want to show you guys this because it's exactly what I'm talking about with photos. So these 3 photos are from shop.com. I don't actually have, no, I have this, the first product, but I didn't have these 2 products and we needed posts. So I took a photo app and I turned them into this. I don't have these products. I didn't do anything. I didn't Photoshop these. I took the product, I put it in and I said, for this one, I said, this is a shower product. I want water around it. That's what it gave me. We did some posts with gold. So I said, I need a gold background. This is what it gave me. Anybody can do this. And that is the point. These are much more better looking photos, I feel like, than this. So make them what you want and what goes with your social. So if you have a lot of gold in your social, do something fun like this. And obviously you don't want to copy things directly. So make it a little bit more fun. Do whatever you want to do, but play around with these apps. My biggest thing, and I will say this till forever, I'm always learning. And that's really important, you guys. Always, always keep learning. So that means going on YouTube, getting followers, getting a coach, do what you have to do. The investment in yourself is the best investment you can do. I have done many coaching classes. I have done even from stock, Steve, everything. I have a stock coach. I have a life coach. I have a whatever coach, because I believe in that. I believe investing in myself. So I know you guys are like, I don't want to invest this. Do it, because nobody else is going to get the return on it as you are investing in yourself. Back to the challenge that Callie was talking about. All right, Callie, this is going to have to be a challenge between us if we can get more posts or more reels. So guys, I'm telling you to get some posts out there. Hashtag size up your wellness. If you, no, I'm going to be honest, I really want to see some reels out there. But if you run out of time, get a post up. Hashtag size up your wellness. Get a picture, use the photo apps that I'm talking about, or honestly, hold them up. Get a picture of you with them, a selfie, whatever you need. Hashtag size up your wellness. Callie and I are going to have a bet on it, on which we get more posts or more reels. So come on, guys, I'm new to the company, so we have to support me a little bit more. And that's it, Steve. I hope that covers a little bit of content. And honestly, if you guys ever have questions, send me a message at Simply Be Social. I'm happy to answer you and help you out. I do not mind at all. If we win, you guys win. If you guys win, we win. And I completely believe in that. And I'm happy to always answer questions.
Well done, Sarah. Great job, on your debut here, on Zooms with us. One of the things that, when you talk about the different apps that we have, I always think about with CapCut. And I remember a month ago, I'm sitting on the couch And I got my daughter Violet, who's 8 years old, and I see her over on her iPad, and she's sitting there putting together a little video
Yeah.
on it. And I'm like, Violet, what are you doing? She was like, well, I'm building a CapCut, Dad. What do you think I'm doing? And all that stuff. And she was on there, just creating a way, just enjoying, the process of creating the content, creating her little videos and all of that. And it's just so simple, once you dive into it. And like you guys have said, there's so many, videos that you can go to on YouTube, to get tutorials and all of that stuff to learn different things. I use YouTube all the time when it comes to, certain things that I don't know, and all that, or I can't figure out to try to get through that. But great tips. I really appreciate you, Sarah. Great work.
Of course. And he's right. My 10-year-olds use CapCut too. So if my 10-year-old can do it, you guys can do it.
Yes, for sure.
Hey, Sarah, real quick, there was a question in the chat on Facebook. Wanted you to repeat what tool you used for the photos. We had the stock photos that we have from the company where you kind of replace the background.
So I actually use a tool called Photo Room. So that one does cost something. So I put other ones in there that don't. But honestly, what I would do is go to your app store and put, create photos or something like that. And it's going to give you a whole different list of different photo kind of apps, and test the one that works best for you.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you.
That's awesome. So now, I get to introduce the elder statesman of the team. From that, Alex has been with us for a few years now, and he comes with he was in the trenches in the NASCAR field. He was actually working with NASCAR teams, creating content, social media, for specific race car teams that he was working with. He came on board because he loved the family aspect of Market America and the community that we had built, for that. And he comes in, he comes in, he's got the long captions. So when you get something from Alex, he's going to send you something at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. And he's going to say, boss, can you read this over? Make sure I covered everything. Because he really loves and cares about what he does. I was looking at some of his texts the other day when Taiwan convention was happening, and he was just blown away by just the energy, the stage, the excitement that happens at the Taiwan convention. And he's always trying to better himself, both as a professional and as a person. I love the saying, we were talking about everybody writing bios. Alex ended up writing all 3 bios for everybody, and all of that. But the funny thing was that at the end of his, what did he say? He said, this is Alex in a nutshell. The last thing he said in his bio was, if you see me, say hi, because that's the type of person he is, from that. So Alex, finish us off.
Thank you, Steve and Jason, for having me on. I know you guys have seen a lot of my work or what I post, and like Steve said, I tend to be a little bit wordy at times, but I think I'm a writer at heart, and I just love to put emotion and genuine feelings into what I post and write. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen, and then we will get the ball rolling. All right, so I'm gonna kind of talk about more of the business side of social media and what you can do to build it. So like Steve said, I'm usually behind the camera. You guys might see me running around the stage, trying to capture content, but a little bit about me so you guys can get to know me, since I don't appear in any videos, because I'm just, as Steve would put it, I'm not as pretty as Callie and Sarah, which is fair. My wife, Mandy, I have a son named Mac. I have a dog and a cat named Titan and Swayze. Grew up in Indiana, and just really big fan of racing and a whole bunch of other things. But I think I hear people ask, like, what is your favorite thing JR taught you a lot? And it has to be the dash for me, because it does remind me that, you can replace things, but what you can't replace is time. So, you got to make the most of it. Like Steve said, I previously worked in NASCAR. And if you want to follow me on social media, which I do post, just not as much as probably Callie and Sarah, but it's there if you guys want to follow me. So the 4 C's of content creation. The first C was obviously creation. Like the other two alluded to, you want to post something that's eye-catching and will actually make people stop and look. It's so easy to just throw up a graphic of whatever, a product, and there's no context behind it. It just looks like it's been placed on a random table or countertop, and it is what it is. But I always try to go for something visually appealing, something that will make people say, what is going on here? For example, a year ago or so, maybe, I posted an AI generated image for a blog, and Steve called me and he's like, what are you doing? And I said, it's an AI, image about the blog, whatever. And it turns out that single image that I posted along with the blog turned out to be the most read blog that we've had in a while. So it's finding creative ways to make people just stop and look. Curation is next. Obviously, you want to find something you're interested in. For me, it's racing, anything motorsports, anything competitive. So if you're into fitness, if you're into cosmetics like Kenzo is, he's fantastic. Just look at his social media. He does such a great job with it. Just start posting about that stuff. So like I said, if you're into fitness, start posting about, Tower. You can post about OPC3. You can post about my favorite, Daily Greens, or the Myco Adapt is also my favorite. And just start using products and building content around the products you use within the specific areas that you're interested in. The next one is connection. So when we get comments on the Market America channels, at the very, very least, I try to go in and like or heart each comment. That way it lets you guys know that, like, they actually care, because I do care. I love reading comments. So even though I may not reply, just a simple heart to let you guys know that I read it can be impactful. And same thing with your guys' stuff. And then lastly, conversation. Simple conversation, dialogue, anything can go a long way. And sometimes it just starts with asking about someone's, daily life. What are they into? What do they like? And that can help you steer the conversation towards, oh, did you know that, OPC3 has these benefits and they can really help you do this. And it's just so simple to start a meaningful conversation that can really turn into something great. Content strategy. So as Callie and Sarah said, you got to have some sort of strategy in place. You don't want to post just to post. You actually want to think about why you're posting. And when you're posting, make sure that you guys are doing research on keywords. So if you ever look at the hashtags that I pick out, a lot of them have to do with words that are already in the caption that I feel most people would actually search for. So if it's a health related topic, I hashtag health or hashtag wellness. And those will help people find your content, because those are ideal words that people would typically search for. Posting pace. So this is a little tricky. Like Sarah referred to, she likes to have something every day of the week. Some content creators, they post 8 times a day. Some post once a day, some post every other day. What you really want to do is just be really consistent with what you end up going to, because that's going to make the world a difference to the algorithm, to the people that follow you, so they know what to expect. SEO optimization, just making sure you do your research there to have your posts rank higher. And then different types of content. So Callie is very good with videos and reels. Sarah's really good with graphics. And I've kind of got to do them all. I have to, you know, I try to change things up so it's not picture after picture after picture or video after video, because different content speaks to different people in different ways. And as everybody else has mentioned, using AI. We started heavily using AI. What is it, a year ago? I think we started really getting into ChatGPT and other AI sources, and I can't tell you how beneficial that's been. If you can learn how to prompt engineer, so writing prompts with ChatGPT that can get you the desired result faster, I would take the time to play around with it and figure out what gets you your answer the quickest. And then there's Canva, like Kylie and Sarah said, CapCut, which that's my favorite thing. That's all I use. And then if you ever see our videos or any videos on YouTube, you can use 4K downloader. That is free, although there is a paid version that you can use. And then UnFranchise Copilot. How many of you guys have used that? You guys should be using it. Everybody should be using it. And then one thing that I see a lot of people doing in terms of business posts is they're using the same graphics, the same images, the same videos. I think there's a saying, and it's variety is the spice of life. Like seriously, like make that your mantra, because you can post about the same thing, but make sure the imagery is different or the captions are different. Change it up a little bit, make it fresh and interesting. And then set baselines and monitor. That's kind of self-explanatory. What you want to do is figure out where you're starting at, and then a month or two down the road, figure out where you're at now. And if you need to change something, you'll be able to look at everything you've posted and figure out what's working, what isn't working. And then if something isn't working, just adjust it, make a little fine-tune adjustment and let it rip again. And then, like Callie said, stay updated on algorithm changes, because they come at you fast and without warning. So we're thankful to have Callie constantly reminding us about that stuff. Consumer behavior and business growth. Consumers, like the other two have mentioned, people want to see originality. They want to see you being genuine. They want to see you being who you are. A lot of times nowadays, especially on TikTok, you have people who play characters, and sure, the characters are entertaining and everything, but at the end of the day, people actually want to get to know who you are as a person, not who you're pretending to be. And what you see me on Zoom right now is going to be the same person you see at the events. This is who I am. So like Steve said, please come say hello. And like Sarah mentioned, I think it was Sarah, Andrew Weissman actually said this during my first event, and he said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So in social media, that's your way of letting people know why you're doing it. Like, what's your why? Is it your family? Is it, freedom? They're going to buy why you're doing it more than anything else. And then back to having conversations. A simple conversation can be the catalyst for being successful. If someone's commenting on your Instagram or your Facebook, a simple conversation could be the only thing you really need to really get started and start racking up success. Oh, do's and don'ts. I love this. So we'll go over the do's. Hashtags are a must. if you are working on collaboration or someone else is in that video with you or picture or whatever, tag them or mention. Use locations. So if you are trying to grow your network in, say, Tampa or Miami or whatever, use your locations. There's location settings on Facebook and Instagram that are easy to do. You can also take advantages of things like link in bio, which are free. If you guys don't know how to set one up, let me know. Be happy to go over that with you. Post consistently. Like I said, not too much, not too little. Find a good ratio for you. You got to be genuine. If you can, collaborate with your team members, because that's a great way to network even more, but it's a good way to build a support around you too. And most importantly, as Mark always says, have fun. Don'ts. Yep. Sorry, I got a little excited. Don't overuse hashtags. It's common to see people that write captions that are really short, but then have like 4 or 5 rows of just hashtags. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm guilty of this sometimes, but I'm working on it. Don't overwrite captions. Say what you got to say without being too much. Like I said, I'm working on it. It's not easy for me being the writer that I am, but we all got to start somewhere.
You even put that one in there.
I'm going to call myself out, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I know I overwrite and I'm working on it. You got to start somewhere, Steve. Don't post just to post. Make sure that when you are posting, it has actual intention behind it. Again, don't be someone you're not, and don't be shy to ask for help. When I first started here, I made it very clear to Steve that my biggest goal here at Market America is to learn, is to always be learning. And it's one of the things that I've valued the most, is because when there's something I don't know how to do, which oftentimes there is, because I don't know everything, I either ask Steve, I ask Callie, Sarah, the multimedia team, or someone that has way more experience than I do. So don't be shy. Just if you need help, it's okay to ask for help. The art of content creation. Fake it till you make it. Jason did this segment in his presentation at leadership school. If you don't know what to post, steal our content. Seriously, steal it. Plagiarize it. I don't care if you steal the picture, the video, and the caption. Take it all. Use it. That's what it's there for. And if I see you use it, you better believe I will comment on it and say, glad you took our advice. Because I think a couple of people have, and I've commented like, I'm glad you stole this. Great job. Leverage the tools. So besides AI, remember to leverage those around you, your team members. I'm sure some team members are smarter than others in different areas, such as videos or graphics. So seek out the right person and ask for help. It's that simple. And then access valuable resources. If, like Sarah said, if you don't know how to do something, YouTube it. Everything's on YouTube. You can build a car, I'm sure, from just watching YouTube videos. And like we've all said, if you get stuck or you want a second opinion or whatever, send a message to Market America. I'd be more than happy to take a look at it, give you my feedback, offer a suggestion. So that's it. If you guys want to know anything else, send me a message. Thanks, guys.
Wow, I love it. So many comments. Steve, do you have anything that you want to reference that Alex pointed out? I mean, so many other great nuggets there.
Yeah, so many great nuggets. I think though that, I think that just the team's done a great job tonight. They all deserve pats on their backs, for a job well done. You guys really came through for everybody tonight. And Jason, I know that this is our final episode of this series. Why don't you share with some of your thoughts, and then I'll share with some of my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the sequel already. Based on what we started, I think it's a great foundation. There will be a recap coming out highlighting each of the segments. But I think the biggest thing we have to come back to, and you've heard it multiple times, week after week, is being consistent, right? Making sure that you're posting on a consistent basis, but being genuine, authentic. No one can be your best self other than you. So nobody better than you. Share yourself passionately. What are you passionate about? You don't have to, when we say fake it till you make it, it's not to post about things that you're not, really about in your life. You really want to make sure that it is showcasing you and your lifestyle and how the business and product kind of are part of that. So most importantly, be yourself, be authentic, be genuine, and be consistent. And lastly, you got to make it fun. I say, trust the process and enjoy the journey.
Well said. I've really enjoyed, the last 4 weeks. One, Jason, working with you, on these Zooms. You and I haven't worked much together until this last, 4 or 5 months. And, you would never know it because, we both feed each other great, there's a lot of things I learned from you and all of that. But what makes this so great is the people that we met along the way and the people that we communicate with. I see you all in chat, the Jeffs, the Barbers, the Gails, the Patties, the Carmens, the Dawns, the Christines, the Jennifers, the Monica, the Ann Lukes, the Cliffs, the Reginas, the Peggys, all of that, and so many more that have been on these, broadcasts the last, 4 series. We enjoy bringing this to you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys are family to us, and we love you. And we do this for one reason, because we know that you guys can be a success at this business and that you can be whatever you want to be. And all you got to do is just have the right tools and have confidence in yourself and get yourself out of your comfort zone and just make things happen, because we were all put on this earth and God gave us the creation of being able to do whatever we want. At some point, people tried to tell us we weren't good enough, but stop believing the naysayers and start believing the people who really believe in you, because that's all that matters in the end. Team, thank you so much. We appreciate everybody who's been a part of it. God, I love you guys. I love you, team.
Great job. Thank you, guys. Tremendous job tonight. We'll see you on the next round.
Take care, guys.